Hello, love. Thank you for spending a little sliver of your day with me today. If you're new here, first of all, welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm a part-time reseller on websites such as Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Kitten. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on what sold in the month of January, specifically to Poshmark. Now, if you'll notice, I am a little bit off center, and that's because as I go through what sold, I'm going to be sending a screenshot of the listings right here, as well as any relevant information that I need to share with you. The very first thing to sell was an Elise and James. It was a queen comforter, and this came from a Quicklotz Nordstrom general merchandise half pallet. That, I believe, is sold out right now, but I will link down in the description below which one I got so that when it comes back up, you can look out for it. This sold for $23 to the buyer. I did not have any kind of shipping discount on this, so $18.40 was what went into my pocket. I did have a cost of goods of about $3 on this particular pallet. The next thing to sell was a blue and gray, pink and cream dress. It was almost like a canvas type feel. This sold for $15 to the buyer. It did not have any kind of shipping discount. This actually came from free inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. I was able to hook up with somebody and they were able to get me a bunch of inventory that they were planning on donating to Goodwill anyways. As we were talking, she realized that as she was donating to Goodwill, other resellers were going into Goodwill and buying. So she was like, hey, let's cut to the chase. I'll just give it to you. It's out of my house. I don't even have to drive to Goodwill. I went to her house to meet her. So that actually worked out in both of our favor. One piece that I was so happy to get out of my house was an animal print. It was a vintage dress. It was a midi dress. I picked it up not realizing that it didn't have a size tag on it, so I took measurements and I guesstimated the size based on size charts that I found online for vintage, because you know that vintage sizing is a little bit different than our sizing right now, so it's kind of hard to say exactly what size it is. This person was actually very happy. I was happy because I had this piece in my closet for over a year. This was one of the first pieces that I picked up in Goodwill specifically for reselling. I was able to wear it to work a couple of times, so that I was kind of happy for, but it was technically a little bit too big. Wore it anyways, cinched waist, just tied it up. But this, I was so happy to get out of my closet. This sold for $10 to the buyer, minus the Poshmark fee, no shipping discount on this one. I had $7.05 into my pocket. I paid $3.50 in this item. Again, so happy it's out of my house. Obviously, that's not worth it in my mind at least, but you know, it's out. On January 6th, I sold an ugly sweater Christmas dress. I actually was surprised to see an ugly sweater dress sell right after Christmas. Maybe somebody had a Christmas party after the fact, or maybe they thought that it was cheaper and they were going to save it for next year. In any case, this sold for $16 to the buyer. I did provide a $2.46 shipping discount, which gave me $10.34 back. This came from a Quicklotz Amazon palette. It is actually called brand new apparel palette. I believe it is up on Quicklotz right now. I will put a screenshot here as well as in the description below. Technically, my cost of goods on this palette was 50 cents, but I have way more than earned my money back. So at this point, I'm almost thinking of these pieces as free inventory. So whether you took it as the 50 cent cost of goods or free inventory, in either way, this still put profit into my pocket, which I'm not mad about. On January 7th, I sold a Gap wool mini skirt. It was like a plaid print. This sold for $32 with free shipping to the buyer. That gave me $18.50. This came from the free inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. So I was not mad about this mall brand coming in with an $18.15 profit on that one. Another piece coming in with free shipping discount. This was a Nordstrom. It was a chain link adjustable belt. It was a size extra large, but of course you could adjust it within that size a little bit. It sold for $25, which put me at $12.55 coming into my pocket. It had a $3 cost of goods because it came from that general merchandise half pallet that I had from Quicklotz. Another piece from the free inventory, I'm not mad about it. It was an Ann Taylor Loft purple lace. It was a cold shoulder. It was like bell sleeves shirt. It was actually pretty cute. This sold for $15 to the buyer. There was no shipping discount applied to this one. So that gave me $12 profit into my pocket. Mall brands are not doing so bad for me. I know $12 isn't the most amount of money, but for it being free inventory, I will definitely take it so I can reinvest that money into more meaningful inventory later on. Another piece of free inventory was a Loft baby pink dress. It was a shipped dress. This sold for $21 to the buyer. No shipping discounts applied to this one, so this gave me $16.80 straight into my pocket. It is not too often when I sell a bundle, so I was pretty excited to see this bundle come in. I sold a Loft blue and gray. It was a leaves print top. This sold along with a Bowden gray mock neck wool sweater. The Bowden sweater did have a hole in it that I did not realize. This one actually came from a ThredUP 200-pound rescue box. It came from my very first box, which if you haven't watched those unboxings, I will definitely put those in the description below. I did get a lot of mall brands, a lot of good stuff to sell. This was the first piece, and I was so excited to see this sell. The Loft shirt was actually part of free inventory. So with the ThredUP $1.08 cost of goods, that gave me just under $30 worth of profit from this bundle alone. This next piece, I quite honestly wasn't sure if it was ever going to sell. This came from the free inventory that I sourced the very first time I sourced from this lady back in, I think it was July, maybe June. It was a Next color black blouse. It was a little bit worn, and I of course noted that in the listing. This sold for $20. There was no shipping discount applied to this one, so this was $16 in my pocket because it was free inventory. These Michael Kors Kelsey Kitten heel shoes, I actually sourced from the same person that I got free inventory, but I was talking with this person and everything that she gave to me for free was more mall brands. Some of it was a little bit used. I couldn't end up listing it. And I told her that I was willing to pay for some inventory because I had a $50 challenge coming up in which I needed to see how much money I can flip $50 into in just a month's time. And these heels were part of that $50 challenge, but they didn't sell in the month's time, so I can't count it as winning that challenge. However, they did sell for $70 that I am not mad about. There's no shipping discount applied to this, so I got $56, which is more than my initial investment for my entire haul. So I definitely took that right away as soon as I saw that offer coming in. This Capezio black leotard, I honestly could not tell if it was kids or women's, and I made sure to note that in the listing. even after this person bought it, I made sure that they were aware of the sizes. It was somebody who wears this brand a lot, so they said, yeah, it's fine. It's definitely women's. They're just small because they're really snug. So I took their judgment on that. Didn't have any issues with this. It sold for $15 with no shipping discount. This came from that Amazon palette that I said that I more than made my money back for sure. And I would say that's my most profitable way of sourcing that I have discovered so far. So whether you say I had 50 cents into this or nothing into it, I still definitely put money into my pocket, $12 specifically. If you didn't know, I've been trying to figure out what style of sourcing is best for me lately. I have tried ThredUP boxes, I tried Quicklotz, Goodwill, going out to that free inventory, of course, and I've just been trying to kind of figure out what is best for me and the amount of time that I have to spend on reselling. I am also a full-time assistant principal, so I don't have the most amount of time to sit here and spend on reselling. I give myself about 2 hours a day total max to spend on reselling. Sometimes I come below that, but I never ever let myself go above that because there are a lot of tasks that I need to do after school hours. This is my very first year as an assistant principal, so of course I'm the low man on the totem pole. I have a lot to learn. My energy needs to go there, so I need to find the best style of sourcing that works specifically for me. On January 20th, I sold a Dermaflash Glow Set. This was an open box that came from my Quicklotz general merchandise half palette. This did have the missing USB cord, and it seemed like some of the padding was like open a little bit, but it wasn't like completely open. The seal maybe was just like broken a little bit. I did, of course, take pictures of this in the listing. This buyer did end up opening a case for it. Poshmark did end up siding on my side because it was noted in the listing, so they released my funds to me. Never heard anything back from the buyer at all. I am sometimes nervous with cases that the buyer is just gonna like be upset that it was not accepted and spam. That, of course, didn't happen here, so I was very grateful of it. Anyways, this sold for $60. It did not have any kind of shipping discount attached to it. It sold for $48 into my pocket with a $3 cost of goods. I am sure I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. I wanna say it's Barber Bexley men's leather gloves. These came from a Nordstrom general merchandise half palette from Quicklotz. They sold for $35 to the buyer without any kind of shipping discount. That gave me $28 into my pocket, of course, less the $3 cost of goods. Next piece actually came from my own personal closet. It was actually a hand-me-down from my mom from a previous wedding that she attended. One day I was at her house and I was going to a wedding and I realized the purse that I was using wasn't gonna work out with my outfit, so I asked her if I can borrow anything, and of course she gave this to me no problem, helps me with different things all the time. She ended up saying, I never wear it, why don't you go ahead and keep it? This was years ago, before I even started reselling. Of course I kept it, I wore it a couple other times, but you know, now I'm kind of like, if I want a new purse, I will buy a new purse. I ended up putting this up for sale. It was a Lulu Townsend Black Evening Clutch. Have a silver strap inside of it. This sold for $29 to the buyer without any kind of shipping discount. It sold for $23.20 into my pocket then after the Poshmark fee. Because this came from a hand-me-down and in my own personal closet, I'm counting that as free inventory. So I will take that $23 and reinvest it, maybe into a new purse for myself. This next piece was a Vetiver 2D cardigan, one size sweater. This came from, I think it was my second box of the ThredUP 200-pound bulk clothing lot. That's a lot to say in one phrase. Every single time I say it, I have to slow down a little bit. It sold for $33 without any kind of shipping discount because I had, I would say about $1.50 of cost of goods into this. I will take the about $25 into my pocket as profit. These socks, I was so excited to get out of my closet because the way I store my inventory, I have boxes of 10 items, and most of my items are super small, shorts, pants, tops, dresses. They can, be super skinny once I store them. These socks were huge, so they really took up about 3 spaces worth of inventory in my box, so I was happy to get rid of them. These sold for $18 to the buyer with a free shipping discount. They did actually sell because of Poshmark VA. I was having a slow sales day on all platforms, so I set Poshmark VA to give a free shipping discount to likers, and this was a product of that sale. It sold for $6.95 into my pocket. That came from the Amazon pallet, counting it as free cost of goods. I will take the about $7, reinvest it, and have more space for other inventory as well. This limited purple striped button down, I was kind of surprised for it to go this high. Somebody did buy it flat out, so at first I was kind of nervous that it was an accidental purchase. I did ship it, it was delivered, no issues. I didn't hear anything about it, so I will take it. It sold for $26. It came from my personal closet. This was a piece that I bought for myself, rather my mother bought for me back in college when I just started my internship and I needed clothes to get me through professional wear. So this was free to me. It sold for $20.80 straight into my pocket. Of course, I'm going to reinvest that into myself, into further inventory as well. This 2-pack of dance tights also sold because of Poshmark VA, and they're sending offers to likers. This sold for $9 to the buyer with a shipping discount, so that gave me $3.59 of profit because this came from the Amazon pallet. Free cost of goods, $3.59 out the door, or in my pocket rather. Not mad about it. This 2-pack of Mardi Gras, they were headbands with, the little coily things on top. These sold for $15. It was a pack of 2. There was a cost of goods of $6 because it was 2 for my general merchandise half pallet. I ended up getting $12 into my pocket, so that is $6 of pure profit for me. I'm not mad. These were kind of awkward. I wasn't even sure if they were going to sell at that price point at all. The very last thing to sell is actually still in delivery, so I'm crossing my fingers everything goes well with it. There should be no issues. There were no flaws or anything with it, but I try not to count as profit until it's actually accepted into my pocket because you never know. But anyways, this was a Elaine Bryant black sleeveless dress. This sold for $10 without a shipping discount. This came from a ThredUP rescue box. So I had about $1.50 into the cost of goods of this. I earned, or I will earn, $7.05 back into my pocket from that. I actually worked at Elaine Bryant through college, so I am semi-familiar with the brand. I know that there is somewhat of a following for it, and I also know that people aren't willing to spend that much amount of money for it, but I do know that they do sell. So taking the $7 of profit for, it was up listed for 2 days, I'll take it. I'm not mad about it at all. If you don't notice, I will take any kind of sale around here. Any sale that gives me money and I'm not losing money and it gets out of my house so I can reinvest my money into further inventory, I will take it. I hope you enjoyed hearing everything that sold in the month of January specifically to Poshmark. Now, if you are interested in understanding what is selling for me specifically on eBay or specifically Mercari, I will have those videos out in the coming weeks. Again, I really appreciate you spending your time with me. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I would love to know any wins that you have specifically to Poshmark from the month of January down in the comments below. That way we can all cheer you on, congratulate each other, and build each other up in our either side hustles, businesses, wherever you are with reselling. I'm happy to have you here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.